Hey everybody, so on day 3, and this is a really exciting day. I'm going to be sharing with you a tool or a technique, however you want to call it, but it's one of the main tools that I use. It's the tool that pretty much works on everybody, and when it doesn't work on somebody, there's usually a block. So before I go into that, I'm just going to wait for a few people to join us. And what I'd love to ask you to do, if that's okay, I don't know if I can drop in comments anymore. So strange, this new thing. Questions. Add a question. Let's see how this goes. So I'm asking for you to do me a little bit of a favour, if that's okay, everybody, just to get the word out there. I stand for truth, and I've personally, and I know that everybody's been lied to, but most of my life was on the foundation of lies. And I'm here to spread the truth as how I've seen it and I know exactly what works. So I'm wanting to get this information out to as many people as possible, and I can't do it on my own. It's impossible. I need communities of people who are willing to share this information. So I'd absolutely love it if you liked my page. That helps me get a bigger reach to people. So that's the reason why I'm asking for that. So I'm dropping that in. I don't know how this works, but as it come on, and hashtag live. Thanks, Donna, for reminding me. Hi, Claire. Yay, Danielle's on time. So this is all new to me. I'm not tech savvy at all. I hire people to do my tech because, quite frankly, I'm not good at it. And I'm honest and open about it. The other thing that I would absolutely love for you to do as well is leave a testimonial about this 5-day challenge. There's so much crap out there. My little boy's playing with his dad if you hear noise. Share your thoughts on the 5-day challenge. Alright, so I'm done with my questions, but that'd be awesome. And just let me know if these questions have come up because I've no idea. It looks really weird. Hi John, hi Tiz. So there is a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of people telling you things that they probably believe that's true. But what I've learned in investing, I didn't even say how much I've spent on coaching, but on the coaching that I've invested, I've learned an awful lot, and I've also learned that there's a lot of charlatans out there. There's a lot of people that are sharing information that gets them rich, but they actually don't know what they're doing. So what I mean by that is people share these get rich quick schemes, and they don't work, but they've worked for them because people are so desperate to feel significant in their life and feel love and connection and feel all these amazing feelings and self-worth. And building a business, what building a business does for you is it forces you to look at yourself and look at the aspects of yourself that you don't like. So truly about building a business or building a great career or feeling good about yourself or having fantastic relationships or having an amazing family life or having all of it because you actually can, is to do with you as a person, how you show up in the world, being within integrity of yourself. Then from there, the truth will come out. If you hide from the parts that you don't like, people know that. So just share the parts of yourself that you don't like with people, and that's what coaches are for, is where you can just completely be yourself and say, you know what, I don't know why I do this, but I do this. We all have our blind spots, myself included. I have an amazing coach right now who is helping me with leadership. It took me a long time to own that I'm really good at what I do. A long, long time. And I was told to say, I'm really good at what I do and stand proud with it. And it felt really unauthentic. It felt awful. It felt awkward because I wasn't owning it. So instead of standing there and saying how great I am, I'm showing the world how they can be great through the tools and techniques that I've learned to heal myself and heal myself from trauma that I hope that nobody goes through. Now, that's the end of me being on my soapbox. That's right, Michelle. I can't find a hashtag. Do you know what? Don't ask me, I don't know. On an iPhone, I can't remember on an iPhone what hashtag is. I'm sorry, guys. Lynn, I don't know, my love. Can anybody drop into... Oh, press 1, 2, 3, and then go up and above the ABC button. Once you press the 1, 2, 3, go above the ABC button, press that, and the hashtag is the 5th button along. I know Lynn's got... She has private sessions with me, so I know that Lynette has an iPhone. Hi, Marianne. It keeps freezing again, does it, Judy? God damn it. Okay, someone told me that I needed to get some crazy platform thing. This is probably why it keeps freezing. Stream health, what's this about? Facebook has not received a video signal. Okay, it's saying it's not receiving a video signal. It's now showing my picture now. I couldn't even see myself before. Just got out of the bath not long ago. Look at my hair, it's all wet. Right, the best technique in the world. So we've got a fair few people on, so let's get started. I came across this technique. I was in absolute despair. I was in a really, really bad place. And I just went, you know what? Please just send me something to help me get out of this because I can't live like this anymore. And pops in my inbox, no word of a lie. I know that this sounds weird, but no word of a lie. Within about 2 or 3 minutes, in my inbox, dropped EFT. And I'm like, heal yourself. So I call the challenge, heal yourself. And I'm like, what's this? And I'm looking at my phone. And I looked at the course. And it was learning to become a practitioner. I'm like, wow, become a practitioner, that's a bit much. I'm in a right state, I can't learn to be a practitioner. It took me a year to pass the exam because I wasn't in the headspace. But what I did is, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you, it doesn't matter how bad life is right now for you, if you're listening and you're struggling, it really doesn't matter. I was in a really, really bad place. At that time, I was actually addicted to 13 painkillers a day. And I mean strong painkillers like Endone, Tramadol, Targin, Lyrica, Norgesic, God, there was Panadine for all sorts of drugs. But I was on 13 a day and I was hooked on 13 a day. And then I was just pretty much filling with Panadine for in between. Then, is this blinking a lot? Because it just keeps blinking constantly. Yeah, I don't know. So, in any case, cut a long story short, I've used this technique called EFT tapping, where you tap on these points, and I'm going to go through this with you today, and I'm going to show you exactly what this technique is. I'm just going to pull the camera down, nipple in line, underarm, there, top of the head. Okay, so if you see my arm disappear, it's there. Okay, so this technique, I don't want to go into too much detail about me. This is about you guys and me helping you out as much as possible, but I just want for you to understand how powerful this is. And the reason why I'm sharing success on myself and not with my clients is because this is about heal yourself. I'm all about teaching people how to heal themselves. I don't want people coming to me day in, day out, year after year. For me, it's about working with people to get them to a point where they can heal themselves. And that is why I share myself and not my clients all the way through. Because I want for you to know that it doesn't matter how low, how scary, how much you believe that there's no way there's a point of return for you. There always is. I was sexually assaulted, and I'm sharing this, and I haven't gone public about this, so this is the first time, so you have to bear with me, but I was sexually assaulted by a surgeon. And it was a horrific situation. I was bullied by, I don't want to divulge too much, but I was bullied by the people that organised the appointment. The police were involved. The medical board was involved. It went all the way up. From that, it created PTSD because I had to divulge everything that had happened to me, all about my slip, my fall, everything. I had to divulge all about my son's birth. For those of you who don't know me, the birth of my son was highly horrific. I was disabled at the time. My son was taken to intensive care unit. I didn't see him for 9 hours. I didn't know if he was alive for 5 hours. They forgot to tell me he was alive. They lost all my belongings. They gave my room to somebody. I'd been robbed. No one told my husband that I'd come out of, I'd been put in high risk as well because I had a massive reaction to the sedation. I had to have a C-section. And I was left in the hospital, a really good hospital in Australia, known as one of the best hospitals in the Southern Hemisphere. And I was left in the gangway, so like a hallway, for 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm not too sure. It was a long bloody time. I just had a C-section. My heart rate had been really, really low. So they couldn't release me. It was dangerously low. Eventually it'd come up. But during that time, they'd been communicating. My husband had been communicating with the nurses on the ward where I was at, the recovery ward, telling them and updating that Alfie's fine, he's okay, he's got through, he's going to have to be in incubator for a few days. And none of that information had got to me. So I'm wheeled. My room had been taken, all my things had been stolen, all of Alfie's baby clothes, every possession that I had been stolen. The nurses, there was one nurse on a ward where there was like 60 women, which is pretty disgusting. And I was left, no one knew who I was, no idea who I was. There was no record of who I was. I screamed and screamed until I burst my stitches. I demanded stitches, not staples, for my C-section. I thought I'd got over that and I was fine. I didn't see my son for 5 hours afterwards because they couldn't get me into the ICU because I was in bed because I was disabled and I just had a C-section, so I didn't get to see my son for 9 hours. And apparently he'd been screaming that entire duration wanting his mum. I didn't even really get to hold him until that point. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is, do you see that I'm not crying? There's no emotional reaction. I had severe PTSD when I had to describe this through the sexual assault. This doctor said that I was crazy because obviously he was sued. Terrible things were going to happen to him. So, basically, why I'm sharing this with you is I overcame PTSD on my own in 2 sittings of using this. So when I say that this is the world's most powerful technique, it's because I have done remarkable things on it for myself. I've done remarkable things with my clients, but I'm sharing my personal story and experience with it because I want for you to know, no matter how tragic something feels in your life, if you can master this technique, it will completely remove the emotional attachment to it. When you remove the emotional attachment, you can then think logically. You can then engage the prefrontal cortex, so you actually come from a place of strategy, not from emotional response. When we make emotional decisions, we usually don't make the best decisions. In fact, we probably make the worst decisions. When that gut feeling comes and we ignore it because we go with our emotions, we end up looking back going, why didn't I listen to my gut? This technique helps you to be able to listen to your gut, your intuition. So that is why I absolutely love this technique. This is why I believe it's the world's best technique. This has been practiced since the 60s in psychology, but only the best of the best psychologists have been using it, because I believe it or not, this is my interpretation. So if any of you are psychologists out there, I do apologise, but this is my interpretation. They don't want the masses learning a tool and a technique that has people get results, because most companies, most professions survive off of repeat business. That's my philosophy. If it's true, I'm not sure, but that's my deep believing. Whenever I've experienced psychology, it's about creating an attachment relationship where you rely on that psychologist. That's my personal experience. Please don't take this any other way other than my experience from it. You might have had different. Many clients who come to me are attracted to me in regards to, I don't set my practice up in a way that you need me. I set my practice up in a way that you won't need me after a period of time. And that period of time is different for everybody. Okay, so let's get to it. So this is the eyebrow point. This is the side of the eye. This is under the eye. This is under the nose. This is the chin point. So it's right there in the crease. And then you've got your collarbone. So I'm bony here. I'm not bony anywhere else, let me tell you, but here I am. So you see this bit here? So you want to be around here, okay? And then, as I showed you before, that's this point, and then top of the head. Now, that's the point. It has to be that order. If you're in a place that you feel uncomfortable in doing this, there are different ways. But today I'm just going to show you this way, okay? Obviously for time's sake and to give you as much information as possible. I don't want to spend too much time on teaching different variations. This is the best one in the shortest time. So you tap in here. Now, the whole point of this tool and technique is to vent out your frustration. A saying of mine is, you can't polish a turd. Simple as that. Positive psychology tells us to be positive and flip everything around and everything will be amazing. It don't work. All you're doing is suppressing. We've been taught to suppress everything in life, and then it just erupts, and then we go, oh, how did that happen? It happened because you can't polish a turd. You have to get in there and you have to remove the crap. Then you can put the shiny stuff on. Okay? If you want gold, don't just use muck and cover it up with gold paint. You have to look for the gold in the issues that you've got, okay? Every single challenge that you have in your life is a golden nugget. Life is about perception, and that's what I said on day one. Life is about perception. If you perceive all your problems to be problems that you can't learn from, then that is what failure is. If you have problems and challenges and issues in your life and you perceive them as learnings, then you'll never fail in life, ever. That's what it means, that you will constantly, the most successful people have failed the most. I want to take a different spin on that. The most successful people realise that they've never failed. They've just learned a way that's not working for them.
You finished. You said you would get
Yeah, I will. I'll do you now. That's my little boy. I don't know if you saw my video the other day, but he found some old makeup of mine, and he did my my face up, and now he wants me to paint his toenails. Sorry about that. So, getting back to it. So basically, I'm just going to shut this door. So basically, what happens is, when we suppress our emotions, they are held in the body. This creates discomfort in the body. Okay? It creates discomfort in the body. This discomfort manifests as pain for some people. So generally, if you have pain, sinus pain, so sinus pain here is generally that there's someone in your life that's really frustrating you. If you experience stomach issues, that's usually that you're pushing everything down. So IBS is that you're pushing all your emotions into your gut. Their energy, they have to be somewhere. If you are not expressing them, you're just suppressing them. And that's what I mean by polishing a turd. And I'm not going to say it again, that one, but that's what I mean by that. You're pushing everything down and you're pretending everything's okay from here upwards. You're pretending that life is brilliant and you're pushing everything down into your gut. And this is why people get gut problems, especially successful people who have not dealt with their stuff. They've become successful and obsessed with something, but they've not become successful and obsessed with how to deal with their emotions. Emotional intelligence is the currency nowadays. If you don't have emotional intelligence, the chances of you being able to build a successful business, have amazing relationships, is pretty much going to be an uphill battle for you. If you don't understand human behaviour, you don't understand why you're reacting the way that you're reacting, you don't understand why your body's reacting the way that it's reacting, hence why I showed you yesterday, communicate with your body, the chances of you having the life that you dreamed of is going to be impossible. This is why I'm doing this, because if we don't wake up, we're going to have a society of people that think they are broken and that they cannot be fixed. And we're going to have more and more people committing suicide, especially from the fallout of what's going on in this COVID-19. There's going to be a massive fallout from this coronavirus. A lot of people are going to be losing their businesses. A lot of people, the families are going to go into meltdown. And if we don't teach these tools and techniques to people to know that no matter how hard life becomes or gets, you can get through it, we're going to have the human race so precious and so vulnerable, wrapped in bubble wrap, protecting them from dealing with things in life. How are we going to evolve? That's the thing that I really worry about, and this is why I'm teaching this. I don't want my son to live in a world where people are so volatile and vulnerable that they can't live a life. They can't function in society. And this is what's happening. I'm seeing teenagers with high levels of anxiety that you wouldn't expect from a war veteran. And they are shaking and they have social anxiety. They can't leave the house. I'm seeing them on Zoom and the parents are at the wit's end. They don't know what to do and they don't know what they've done wrong. And it's because we're not teaching our kids resilience. And we're not teaching our kids resilience because we don't understand how to do that. And you can teach a kid resilience, let them make mistakes, let them screw up, but teach them how to think, not what to think. We're teaching our kids what to think, and that's not what it's about. It's teaching them how to think. If you come across this challenge, this is what you do. You sit down and you say, I get it. It's not great. And you acknowledge how difficult someone's situation is. You have to acknowledge that. We're too quick to fix people's problems. It's not how it works. Acknowledge what they're going through. Acknowledge that's harsh. That's terrible. And let them say it is. Let them get it out. Because if you say to them, oh, there's always a bright way, there's a better way of looking at it, you're not helping them build resilience. You're actually creating disturbance within inside. And this is not just for kids, this is for adults as well. You're creating a disturbance within inside them that they're overreacting to a situation or they're weak. Or the opposite, that they're not strong enough to deal with this or they've got self-worth issues. So say, that is really challenging. And you know what? Let's get that out. And tap on what's going on. You tap exactly what's going on. Now I'm going to share with you why this is so powerful. And I've not met a practitioner who does EFT that puts it in this frame. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about EFT. What it does is it allows you to vent out your frustrations, okay? It allows you to get out what you are holding on to, what you're told to hide from, what you're told to suppress, what you're told to run away from, what you're told to, you can't say that. That's a sign of weakness. You can't share that. Whatever it is for you, you get all of that out. And the reason why EFT, tapping, whatever you want to call it, is so profoundly life-changing is what happens is your mind and body know no difference between what is happening and what you're imagining. Okay, so if you have had a really bad experience and you're venting that bad experience, your mind and body thinks it's going back through that traumatic experience. So when I was told to go through my traumatic experience of my child's birth, little boy Alfie, who you just saw then, it brought everything back and I started fitting. And I managed to use EFT whilst watching my body fitting. It was like I was able to move myself, observe what was happening with my body, and disconnect from the actual physicality of the symptoms. Now, I'm not sharing this to scare you, but I'm sharing with you how powerful this tool is if you trust that you can do it. You need to be able to hold the space for yourself. That's what I teach people, is to hold the space for themselves. It takes time for some people to be able to do that and hold the space and know that they're safe. Your mind and body are separate from you, but they are united together. What EFT does is it actually separates your nervous system. So your nervous system is what's responding physically to the issue, and your mind, which is the projection of what's going on. It separates the two so you can observe. It's a form of hypnosis. It's self-hypnosis. Okay, that's what this technique is. That's how powerful it is, and it can be used for anything and everything. And I mean anything and everything. I've helped clients overcome traumatic relationships, helped them overcome traumatic surgeries, um, eating issues, overeating, undereating. God, there's so many things. Money issues, business blocks, self-worth. Anything that you can imagine, any obstacle that's in your life, you can use this technique. All you need to know is that you can change your life, and you have to trust yourself. Okay. Now, I'm going to wrap up the session because my husband's just gone to work, and I know that Alfie's going to be coming in here soon, and I'm probably not going to be able to be as attentive as I want to be in this session if I continue. But what I do want to share with you is, if this technique doesn't work for you, it's not the technique, nor is it you. Remember that. There is a block and a barrier between the two things, okay? It's not the technique and it's not you. You're not doing it wrong. It's very forgiving as long as you tap on these points. It's very, very, very forgiving technique, okay? Very forgiving technique. But what happens is, I'll give you the two main blocks. The two main blocks that stops people is they don't believe that the technique will work. If you don't believe the technique will work, then your brain will stop the disconnection and you won't be able to go into the hypnosis, okay? You're touching meridian endpoints, and meridian endpoints are like energy lines. It's very sensitive points. That's why it's really important that you use these points in this order. The second block that people have is they think it looks weird and strange, okay? Yes, it does. It's bloody strange. It's weird. And I have taught this technique to an audience of over 1,000 people, and every single one of them was doing it. And I had people coming up to me afterwards saying that just within 5 minutes, I taught for 5 minutes on stage this technique because I was talking about it, but for 5 minutes I showed this technique. I had people coming to me afterwards and saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I shifted in that 5 minutes. I have been working on myself for a long time with that and it's not shifted." If it doesn't shift for you, you don't believe that it will work. So you're not going into that hypnosis where your nervous system and your mind, so your amygdala, are separated. If they're not separated, those 2 points, so your amygdala is your fight or flight response. It goes, okay, this situation has happened before. Was it more like 2000? Thanks, John. John was there. The amygdala is the fight or flight response. It's the thing that goes, oh, this has happened to us before. How do we react? Oh, we just lose it. We get angry. This is how we react. The nervous system is where the body starts to create all of the emotions, where you actually feel the physicality of what's happening, which then affects your endocrine system. And this is why people get adrenal burnout. This is why people end up with chronic fatigue, because when this system is running 24/7, there is burnout. It's not designed to run 24/7, isn't your amygdala, nor is your nervous system in the sympathetic. You're supposed to be functioning from a place where you rest and digest. This tool is really important for you right now with this coronavirus. When you're functioning from the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, what happens is it switches your nervous system into, let's send all of the energy to the heart, the brain, the legs and the arms, because we have got to run. So what happens is your digestive system and your immune system are shut down, and they're only working at about 20% capacity. This is why people get sick who are on burnout, when you push yourself too far. This is why you'll end up with these chronic fatigue symptoms where you just don't feel like doing anything and you think you're lazy. It's your body recouping from that. It thinks it's had to run from a burning building. So remember that if you want to change your life, you have to take responsibility. Once you've taken responsibility, you have to ask yourself the questions. And the question that I asked you on day one was, how do I get myself? Question from day one, I'm hearing my little boy playing around. The question from day one was asking, what do I want to get from this 5-day challenge? Yesterday, I asked you, ask your body a question. These are the things that are going to help you change your life. Once you can communicate with your body, once you can be in control over your mind, once you know what you want and you use this technique, your life will change immensely. So, now, if you think this information is going to help somebody, if there's anybody in your life who is struggling or suffering, please share this group. They can watch the videos, so please share this group. I'll drop the link just in case. And there it is. And also, what I wanted to say just before I wrap up is the challenge that I want for you to do today is I want for you to be able to tap on something, anything, absolutely anything that's going on for you right now, what's stressing you, absolutely anything, okay? And I'm going to look for, I'm going to pop in a link to a video that shows you how to tap. So don't worry, don't panic, but I want for you between now and tomorrow's call to have tapped on one thing. One thing. So think about day one when I asked you the question, what is it that you want to get out of this 5-day challenge? I want you to tap on that. I want you to tap on that exact thing. Okay? Something came up for you with your body yesterday where you asked a question and you're not happy with the answer. Tap on that. Tap on one thing between now and then. Okay, so sounds like Alfie is my husband's just gone. I'm so sorry, the timings are not great. So I'll just give you an example just to help you through this, because I know for some of you this might be a bit challenging and a bit difficult. So if you want to start tapping along with me, okay, and tapping on these points, and then once we get to the eyebrow point again, I want you to repeat after me exactly what I say, okay? I am so stressed right now. So many things are going on for me. Stop looking at yourself. So many things are going on for me. I am so stressed. I'm not sure what to do. You going to tap with us?
I want to do my nails, like I said.
I'll do your nails in a moment, darling. That's my tea. I'm struggling. to be able to get through this. This is a really challenging time. And no one gets it. I'm supposed to be the one that holds everybody up. But I can't do it anymore. I wish somebody had held me up. And this tool looks really weird. I don't get how tapping on these strange points is going to help me. I'm really confused right now. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to trust what Dawn is saying. That this technique works. I'm going to trust that I can do this. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust in the process. I know that my mind is extremely powerful. And I know that I can speak to my body. I'm coming, darling. You don't feel
like I'm dying.
Oh, I want some cuddle. Does my little boy say hello, everybody? Oh. Tummy saw you too much, didn't you? All right, everybody. So thank you, little man, for letting me do this session today. A bit challenging with having kids at home and know where to send them in school time. Look at him pausing with his hair. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about dreams, okay? So we're going to be talking about dreams and how we can interpret our dreams. I'm going to share with you the process of how to do that. And it will actually change your perception of your dreams. And I'm going to teach you how you can actually ask your body to send you dreams. They're my little notes, aren't they? Showing people my notes so I don't forget. So please, if you can, like my page, just share this information with as many people as possible. It's really, really needed. And thank you so much for being part of the journey. And I hope that you get a lot out of it. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Say bye-bye.
Makeup time. Mommy.